Here is a flashback from 17 years ago on September 11, 2001.
We interviewed teachers to see what they were doing on this tragic day.
Mrs. Dunlap.
Teaching biology at Fairfield High School. And my mother-in-law came and got me out of class so that I could go call my brother because he was working in New York and my dad was working in D.C. And my brother actually was on a plane to Terre Haute. And he found out when he landed what had happened. And we found out they were safe. But then, no planes were flying the rest of the week. So my brother had to rent a car with a bunch of people he didn't know in order to try to drive back to New York. And then they had to find a back way to get into the city because they couldn't get in the normal routes. And I found out my dad was okay too. He wasn't on a plane. He was just in D.C.
Mrs. Judkins.
So 9/11, I went to work as usual. I was a librarian at the time. I worked in a middle school in Oklahoma City, and I had the TV on in the library, and I think somebody came and said, "Hey, something's happening." And so I got on the TV, and we could see the burning. We could see it burning, and we were like, "Oh my gosh, what happened?" And so there was some kind of news feed of the first airplane hitting it, and everybody thought it was an accident. And then we watched the second one happen, and it was devastating. So we knew something was wrong.
Mr. Grubbs.
Freshman in high school at Pecos High School, and I remember walking down the hallway and hearing kids talking about the Twin Towers and everything that had happened. And I remember in classes watching news footage, and it was a very traumatizing experience. Really, it was very intense. And but that's what I remember. I remember that very vividly, being a freshman in high school, and I remember that day very well.
I think I was in 5th grade social studies classroom.
Wow. 5th grade?
I think so. It was between 4th and 6th grade.
Yeah, I was young.
Yeah, I think I was in 5th grade.
Oh.
It would have been 4th, 5th, or 6th grade because I had the same teacher, and I know what teacher I had. So, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, on 9/11/2001, I was teaching biology at EGLZ High School, and it came on the loudspeaker that the towers had been bombed, or the planes had crashed into the towers, and that they were falling. So we didn't have TVs in every room, so everyone crowded into the library, from pretty much from kindergarten through seniors. We were all in the library watching on TV. We were supposed to have volleyball games that day, but they wouldn't let us go and play our volleyball games because they were afraid that something else would happen and that it would come. So we pretty much spent the entire day watching what unfolded afterwards on the news.